Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy with our full moon reading for this coming Wednesday, March 23rd. And we kind of have some mixed energies here. It's a little bit confusing. But we'll dive in and see what we can make of it. In the middle, in the very center, and I think this is a very important card, and I'm going to kind of read everything else in relation to it. We have the card from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, New Beginnings. Now, I don't read the Vintage Wisdom Oracle reversed. In other words, I don't shuffle them such that reversed cards can come up. But there's really some very contrary messages from the other two decks I'm using here about any new beginnings. So we may be considering new beginnings, and this includes for the 23rd forward 2 weeks. So we may be considering some new beginnings. We may have had a new beginning or experiencing a new beginning that we're having doubts about. In any case, it's not a lot of green light here. There are not a lot of green lights here. In fact, there are only 2 cards that are upright. There are only 2 cards that are upright other than the New Beginnings card. So it's kind of fraught with negative messages. But the interesting thing is, so the first card other than New Beginnings, and this was a popper. So this card popped out, and it's the 8 of Wands, which is a card of rapid action and usually good news. It's considered the good news card. But lots of communication, all energy kind of focused in one direction, not only your own, but possibly others, so there can be positive coordination there. Coordination of effort. And it could be that this coordination of effort or focused effort, so that you've got 8 wands, but they're all headed in the same direction. You know, the new beginning could be a new approach, a new way of doing things. Because the next card from the, and I'm going clockwise here, the next card from that 8 of Wands is from the Enchanted Map, and it's the Wide Open. So, and it's reversed, so that means the contrary. It means that you're narrowing things down. And that is followed or reinforced by the next card, which is the 2 of Wands reversed, which is like you're no longer looking outward. You're no longer looking outward, or there's some problem with looking outward. Both of these cards also could suggest that some people, that this good news for some reason results in people, or this fast action could just result in people canceling a trip or not going on a trip. So, interesting. The next card is the Storm Fields, and the Storm Fields is reversed, which is great. So this means that whatever change is coming, you know, we have this good news and the Storm Fields reversed. So something, again, there may be some narrowing down, but this card is kind of saying it's not that everything's wiped out. It's not necessarily bad. Because the storm, in the reverse, I would say that it's not a storm, or if it is, it's a minor one. It's not destructive. So you're not clearing everything away, but certainly you're narrowing things down, it looks like. Or, because opposite of the storm fields, I'm breaking my 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 clockwise rotation here, opposite of the storm fields, is the flying card reversed, which means that you're grounded. And to me, I'm taking this to be, you're not in a fantasy land. You're grounded. Not necessarily in a negative sense, but it could mean that in an actual physical sense, that you're staying in a certain location, you're not traveling, you're not wide open. It could be even that you're just not open to options. And I think, again, I'm going to break with my initial clockwise rotation. I'm going to come down to the enchanted map. On the bottom card is the magic prayer. So there's a sense here that maybe you get some good news and you need to stop and do some soul searching about what the next best action is. You know, with the storm fields reversed, if you've been experiencing a lot of storms, it could be that some storms end. Some storms end in the next couple of weeks at the full moon, or in the next couple of weeks, that if you've been experiencing some stormy times, that they end, and that gives you some peace. But in order to move forward, you're going to need to kind of surrender. This magic prayer is a card of surrender, surrendering to, it's supposed to be surrendering to the divine. And her heart, her chest is kind of pulling her forward, and she's releasing. So it's kind of like she's releasing her mind, and she's letting her heart pull her forward, and she's kind of got some light colored, as in the energy of light colored wings developing behind her, as though that's pushing her forward. So you may kind of sit still and wait to feel moved to do anything. So there may be some clearing away, or just some stopping regarding the new beginnings. And so the new beginnings card, as I was saying, it could have been that it would have come up reversed if I used reversals. It could be that you are not considering beginnings right now, that despite the news or whatever that you've had, you're actually, it results in you not being open to certain things, or needing to stop and consider before you start any new beginnings. And another strong reason that I say that is that on either side of the magic prayer card, from the regular tarot deck, we have the Fool reversed, which is risky new beginnings. Usually when the Fool, I love the Fool upright, reversed, stop, look, and listen, because it could be a risk that is not worth taking. So that's what that's about. And then, with the new beginnings card, that's like, wow, that's bad news. It's completely contrary to the card in the center. It's like they nullify each other. One is saying don't do it, the other one's saying new beginnings, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe the vintage wisdom may have preferred to be reversed there, if I had allowed it. And the reason I don't use that deck reversed is because the backings don't really allow for it. but in other words, or don't encourage it. I should say that. It's not like they don't allow it, but they don't encourage it because it has a definite upright position, an upright orientation, but I may have to just overcome that and sometimes use it reversed. And then we have the Emperor reversed. And again, that can mean not feeling strong. That can mean needing to pause and create a strategy that you aren't in your power somehow. You're not able maybe to make clear decisions, because this is usually a spot-on decision maker, and he's reversed, and so his ability to make decisions may be clouded for some reason at the moment. So some interesting energy. There may be a clearing of sorts with the storm fields reversed in the Eight of Wands. There may be some very focused, positive energy in one direction, but it kind of closes out other possibilities. And there's an indication here to not start something new, that you're not thinking necessarily straight, even though you've got those 8 wands focused in one direction. And you really need to be careful about anything new. And again, it could be that what you're doing is you're coming up with some kind of new way of doing something, or you're trying to think of a new way of doing something. That you're kind of in the meditation process here. I'll say this. We have the New Beginnings card here in the middle, and in that card you have sorry, I've got a dog snoring here. A woman, and her arms are holding a baby. She's kind of in flight, and the baby itself is in flight. It's almost as though she's being pulled forward by this child. Okay, and then we have the Emperor, and the Emperor reversed can refer to any of the major arcana when they're reversed, can refer to the previous card. And the previous card to the Emperor is the Empress, and the assumption is that the Empress has not been maybe fully embraced, or hasn't completed its cycle, so you're kind of halfway between the Empress and the Emperor, so the Emperor can't quite be, upright. So what that would indicate is this. Empress can be about new beginning. She's about fertility, more about mature fertility, as in pregnancy and bringing stuff to fruition. So it could be that during this time there's something that still needs to be brought to fruition. You could say that maybe there's a difficult birth. There's a difficult birth going on here. And I don't mean that literally. And that kind of the solution to this difficult birth is to focus your energy, to not look outward, but to ground yourself. And really, the Empress card in many ways is very grounded. She's sitting in a chair, her feet are on the earth is very productive around her, so she is an earthy card. So it could be, and certainly the Fool reversed would indicate, again, stop, look, and listen, ground yourself. That you need to be grounded and maybe just allow more gestation, like with this magic prayer, allow more gestation to occur before putting any more strategies in place. You know, this Emperor reversed. In other words, sit still, kind of sit still and just do the same stuff. I know everybody just loves to hear that, right? Sit still, ground yourself, and allow the gestation period to continue to develop. That you don't necessarily, you know, you could be looking at new strategies. It could be that a new strategy is needed, but not yet with this Emperor reversed. Not yet. And the magic prayer seems to be saying, wait until some unseen force kind of pushes you forward. So interesting message for the new moon. Excuse me, it's not the new moon. I'm stuck on the new beginnings card here. The full moon. And I may have to act contrary to it in some regards, because I do want to start some new stuff for April, and that's going to head us, that's heading us into April. So not necessarily huge things, but so anyway, there are the mixed messages. There's the confusion of the full moon. So now, for this full moon, if you find that people are acting a little crazy, it's because they're getting mixed messages. They're getting some contrary messages. New beginnings, but don't move. Don't go anywhere. Okay, that's that. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining. Anybody who's interested in private readings with me, check out my website. It's thistlegypsy.weebly.com. Or you can send me an email, jen7.pearson@gmail.com. On the website, there are 2 tabs to check out. There's the Readings tab and the Specials tab. The Readings have my regular readings. The Specials have some lower priced readings. I have also started blogging regularly using the Romantic Tarot that I've also started to post some reviews of, but I'm using those cards to reflect on the process of romantic engagement and dating and stuff like that. Stuff of that nature. So I'm using a card a day, and I'm just exploring them, exploring their meaning, and the questions that they suggest in terms of asking ourselves about our own behavior and our own relationships. All right, thanks so much for stopping by and listening, liking, sharing, all those wonderful things. Take care. Bye-bye.